If I were going to Mexico City for 4 days in October, here's what my itinerary would be. I'm gonna break it down, but from a high level, there's gonna be a lot of good food, shopping, museums, and a hot air balloon ride. Hi, I'm Nicole, the founder of Pocketoire, a travel platform made for creators to share and earn, and I'm starting a new series where every single week I plan a stranger's vacation itinerary. Starting off the series by planning Daniela's trip to Mexico City, and all of this is going to be linked in my storefront. If you're a creator and want to create your own storefront to share and earn, link is in my bio. Let's start off with day one. So I would plan to stay in the Roma Norte neighborhood, and then I would stay at the Zoma Boutique Hotel. This is like an apartment style hotel, so I feel like this would be really, really great, especially if you're traveling with a large group. And also I would not rent a car because Roma Norte is like very walkable. After you check in, I would go to Panteria Rosetta because it is probably the most hyped bakery on TikTok that I see, and I would definitely try their guava pastry and then grab a coffee here to start your day. After you grab your delicious pastries, I would walk down Calle Colima, which is a beautiful street, and I feel like it's such a great way to get acquainted with the city on your very first day just by doing some strolling and a little bit of shopping. For lunch, this is one of my bucket list restaurants. This is Expendio de Mais, and they are a Michelin star restaurant that is walk-in only and only takes cash. So the caveat here is the line's gonna be a little bit long, so I would just plan ahead if you wanted to put your name in and explore, but they serve you food until you literally tap out, which is really, really interesting, but it's supposed to be really delicious. In the afternoon, this one is for my architecture lovers. I would definitely do a tour of Casa Pedregal. This was created by one of the most famous architects in Mexico, and you can take a guided tour and see all the design and beautiful architecture of this home. This is linked in my storefront as well. The museum should only take up probably 1 to 2 hours, and after that, I would head back to Roma Norte and go to Teotihuacán for a cocktail. I really make drinks with mezcal and tequila, and the interior just looks so chic, very intimate, very unique. Now for dinner, I would go to Santo Espiritu, which is also in Roma Norte. This is an Italian restaurant, but it actually originated in Guatemala and has now made it over to Mexico City. It's a really chic restaurant that is in a historic house and is close to the hotel or Airbnb if you're staying in Roma Norte. So I feel like it's a really great way to kick off night one in Mexico City. For day two, let's kick off our morning with going to Seda Cafe, which is supposed to have really good and really affordable coffee in Roma Norte. And for Daniela, I think this is going to be Saturday, and so if it is Saturday, then I would definitely stop by El Bazar Sabado, which is their market that only happens on Saturdays. Here you'll find lots of artwork and little knickknacks that you can bring home as souvenirs. And so for lunch, I would also say stop by whatever stall here that you find interesting. Our afternoon activity for day two is going to be visiting the Casa Azul or the Frida Kahlo Museum. The museum has a lot of Frida's artwork and personal belongings, so this is definitely a must visit, and I have linked this exact one in my storefront. After the museum, I would come back to Roma Norte and go to Blanco Colima for dinner. This is another really aesthetic restaurant. I feel like Mexico City has so many of these, but they have really good cocktails and also DJs for a little bit of a dinner. It's so important for night two, go to bed early because you're gonna have an early ass wake up call the next morning. Day three is going to be probably your most tiring but the funnest day of all because I found so many excursions that you can book for this day. So the main one is going to be this 3-in-1 ticket, and so you're gonna have a hot air balloon ride and then go eat at La Gruta and then be able to visit Teotihuacán pyramids. So after the hot air balloon, you're gonna be dropped off at La Gruta, which is a cave restaurant. So cool. It's important to note that the ticket doesn't come with any food. I think it just comes with a reservation, so you'll have to buy food here yourself, but once in a lifetime experience. And then afterwards you will be transported to go see the pyramids, which is also another must see when you're in Mexico City. Because we are stacking activity on activity, after your 3-in-1, you are going to come back and then see Lucha Libre, which is one of the famous wrestling shows in Mexico City. These are so vibrant and so fun, and I would just do like a grab and go dinner before or after the show because you're just gonna be so exhausted. Do not book a dinner reservation tonight. On day four, depending on when you're flying out, if you have time, I would go to Quina. I think I'm butchering this, but this is a really aesthetic and beautiful restaurant that's really great for brunch food, and I would just honestly take your time here and have a really slow morning and just reminisce on your trip. If you have time in the afternoon, I would go visit the Anthropology Museum. This is one of, if not the largest museum in the city, and I would take a guided tour. There is so much history here, including these Aztec sculptures. And then if you have time, this is right next to the Anthropology Museum, I would go to Pujol for dinner. This is a 2 Michelin star restaurant and is consistently showing up in the like world's 50 best restaurants. And this would be like one great way to just end your trip to Mexico City. Great, that about covers how I would plan a 4-day trip to Mexico City in October. I hope this was helpful, and if you want me to plan your next vacation, drop where you're going and when, and I will do my best to do so.